it's that thing which is it's a sort of a folk play with stock characters that everyone knows, and everyone goes to see the play knowing what's going to happen. They know what the characters are, and it's basically they didn't have telly in the past.
Yeah. It's like Mrs. Brown's Boys.
It is Mrs. Brown's Boys for the it's Mrs. Brown Boys for the Groat generation.
Yeah,
I'd say.
and so we've got several stock characters here. This is the Burford Mummers play.
Yes.
Turkish Knight, Father Christmas, the King of Egypt, St. George, and a dragon, a giant, and a doctor.
Yeah, a classic
What a lineup.
Classic triptych. Yes, we've cut the King of Egypt though.
We're cutting the King of Egypt out. No criticism intended of the King of Egypt. It's just he doesn't really have any good lines. And it's quite long.
He kind of just comes in and says, "My son's St. George. He's coming on in a minute."
Yeah.
For some time.
Son-in-law, I think, if I remember the story correctly, but it doesn't really matter.
Well, in Burford, he was, closer relation, seems.
Well, that raises some
We'll
questions.
find out.
He definitely married the King of Egypt's daughter. But, okay.
Uh-oh. Well,
so
Burford.
First upon the stage for you, this Merry Christmas Eve. Delete as appropriate.
Mm-hmm.
It's a Turkish knight played by James Shakeshaft.
Yes.
Trained actor James Shakeshaft.
Trained actor and trained mime. A skill I'm not going to be using.
Stop reminding me that you know how to mime.
Mime school.
Oh, don't do it.
It's very easy in 2D to mime. Right, so I'm the Turkish knight. I'm going to do my best accent.
Are you going to do the accent?
I'm going to do my best accent. Open your doors and let us in. For I hope your favours we will win. Where our rise or whether I fall, we will do our best to please you all. St. George is here and he swears he will come in. If he does, he will pierce my skin. If you do not believe what I say, ask Father Christmas to come in and clear the way.
And it's obvious that people do not believe what he has to say because the next person upon the scene is Father Christmas, again played by you, James.
Yes.
I know you've taken quite a lot of the meaty roles for yourself here in casting this.
You had the King of Egypt for a minute until
on down there on the cutting room floor. What's that? The King of Egypt.
ABK is the King of Egypt. So I was going to say now Father Christmas, but you'll note from my first line, it's very clear who I am. And I'm going to do this in a kindly, Christmassy voice, I think. My kindest, nicest, friendliest voice. Friendly. In comes old Father Christmas. Welcome or welcome not. For I hope old Father Christmas will never be forgot. If I am not come here to laugh or jeer, but for pocket full of money and a skin full of beer. If you do not believe what I say, ignore the next bit. There's no King of Egypt coming in. Friendly.
Just to be clear, it doesn't say, "Oh, King of Egypt coming in." That's not in the. That's not exactly the words. So
ignore the King of Egypt not coming in.
You chose the voice of Sam the Sandown Clown there for Father Christmas.
Friend of the show, Sam the Sandown Clown.
Friendly friend of the show, Sam the Sandown Clown. So the King of Egypt comes in. Arbitrarily, we've cut that. And then it's St. George. Finally, an ABK role. And I intend to play St. George in the style of generic Beatle.
The Beatles.
All the Beatles, yes. St. John, Paul, George and Ringo. Okay. Here I am, St. George. From Britain did I spring, and I will fight the fiery dragon. My wonders to begin. I'll clip his wings. He shall not fly away. I'll cut him down, or else I die. That doesn't rhyme. That was awful.
Well, they did need to rhyme. They played with the form.
I was really expecting it to rhyme. And then
a
dragon appears. That's you, right, James?
Yeah. I'm going to do this as Neil Iron, who was a voice that I had to adopt at my old work because they never paid any bills and I always had to ring up.
and they'd always ask for a name to put on the bills. I didn't want to put my real name, so I called myself Neil Iron, and I developed a whole. I was going to say character, but I developed a whole voice for him. He'd ring up and say, "Why have you coal for gas?" Anyway,
well, it's hard to argue with Neil Ion. Is it ION, like the particle?
yeah,
Like
it is.
Particle. Neil Ion.
It's Neil, Neal, but it's Ion, ION, like the particle.
It's not a surname, Neil. You can't be called Neil Ion. I'm Steve Electron. This is a realistic fake name.
There's a Jimmy Neutron.
He's a child inventor. That's not.
He wouldn't be scrubbing around trying to pay just a tiny bit of a gas bill or arguing why you shouldn't pay a gas bill.
We've got
for
Billy
a business.
Bosun and Henry Hadron popping up in the chat as alternative realistic names being suggested.
The one time there was one.
Quentin Quark.
Oh, that's nice.
That's the name I used at work. I'm sorry, Quentin Quark here. Why have you cut off my supply of corduroy?
But one time I did actually have to pay a tiny amount of a bill, and I was like, okay, I'm going to pay this because it was like a $5. It was like a token amount, and I was like, right, I'll pay it. So I was like, yeah, okay, yeah. And I got my card out, and I like did all the number, and they're like, what's the name? And I was like, oh, it's James Shakeshaft. And they were like, are you the card holder? And I was obviously not, because I was Neil Iron. So I had to say, oh, no, I'm not. And they were like, well, can you get him on, please? And I went, yeah, I'll just get him. And I went like, Jame, you got to tell them they can use your card.
Why does Neil Iron call you Jamie? I've never known anyone to call you Jamie.
Because then I came over as Jamie Shakeshaft. Hello. Yes, it's okay. You can use my card.
Why is Jamie Shakeshaft Scottish? Why is Jamie Shakeshaft Scottish?
I still wanted it removed from me in myself. I'm like Peter Sellers getting interviewed that time.
There is no you. There is no real James. You just keep digging down. It's just layers of character.
Yeah.
All right.
And Jamie Shakeshaft didn't like Neil Iron as well. Like I made sure, like he was like,
he's not
yeah, it's okay, Pete. And he was like, can you not sort it out yourself, Neil? And went off. Anyway, so where are we? Mama's Place. St. George's turned it up.
Neil Iron, the dragon appears.
Fraudster Neil Iron. Who is he that seeks the dragon's blood and speaks so angry and so loud? That English dog will he before me stand. I will cut him down with my courageous hand. With my long teeth and scurvy jaws, of such I break up half a score, then stay my stomach till I have more.
And then literally everyone else in the play shouts, but I'm just going to do it in the voice of St. George. Is there a doctor to be found, already near at hand, to cure a deep and deadly wound, and make a champion stand? So presumably he's struck at St. George and he's injured him, and St. George is all on the ground like,
St. George and the dragon fights, and St. George is overcome.
Oh, I missed that bit. Right, yeah. Yep. That's important.
Mm-hmm.
And then the doctor, am I doing the doctor as Patrick Stewart? Is that the plan?
Yes.
I really pitched for David Lynch, but you insisted on Patrick Stewart.
I think he's got more of a doctorish vibe.
All right. Well, bad Captain Picard. Here we go, Doctor. Engage. Oh yes, there is a doctor to be found, already near at hand, to cure a deep and deadly wound, and make a champion stand.
And what do you cure?
That was Father Christmas again.
That was Father Christmas, obviously.
All sorts of diseases, whatever you pleases. The physic, the palsy, and the gout. If the devil's in, I'll blow him out.
What is your fee?
£15 is my fee, the money to lay down. But as to such a rogue as thee, I'll cure thee for £10. And then he takes a big pill from his bag and bottle, and he goes to St. George. I carry a little bottle of Alexopain. Here, Jack, take a little of my flip-flop. Pour it down thy tip-top. Rise up and fight again. St. George and the dragon fight again.
And the dragon dies.
And the dragon dies. And St. George
says,
oh,
no. That was ad-lib. They would have ad-lib.
They probably would have. They would have gone off script, yeah. I'm not quite off book. That's an acting term. St. George
It
says,
means learned the words.
it means learn the words. It's a really pretentious way of saying, I haven't done the one thing that an actor needs to do. Here I am, St. George, that worthy champion bold, and with my sword and spear I won 3 crowns of gold. I fought the fiery dragon, and brought him to the slaughter, and by that I won fair Sabra, the king of Egypt's daughter. Told you, James. Now where is that man who will me defy? I'll cut his giblets full of holes, and make his buttons fly.
As a threat, it gets less, doesn't it? The Turkish knight re-enters.
Oh, yeah? Lancashire, the Lancastrian knight.
Yes. Here come I, the Turkish knight, and I've come from the Turkish land to fight. I'll fight St. George, who is my foe, and I'll make him yield before I go. He brags to such a high degree and thinks that no one can do the likes of he.
Where is the Turk that will before me stand? I'll cut him down with my courageous hand.
And he does. He strikes the knight, and I, the knight, kneel before him. Oh, pardon me, St. George, pardon of thee, I crave. Oh, pardon me this night, and I will be thy slave.
That's not very PC. No pardon will you have while I have foot to stand. Oh, rise thee up again and strike out, sword in hand.
And they fight again, and the Turkish knight is vanquished, which is the past for killed.
Yes. Very brave of St. George to murder that man instead of showing him mercy.
It was, yes, the man who had basically surrendered.
Yeah. But he was going, no, I think I'll have murder, please.
And then a giant enters.
I'll fill this. The giant voiced by me doing an impression of James Shakeshaft.
Good choice.
In I come, I, the giant, bold Turpin is my name, and all the nations round do tremble at my fame. Where'er I go, they tremble at my sight. No lord or champion long with me will fight.
It's the face as well. It's uncanny.
Exactly. It's like listening into a mirror. Listening into a sound mirror.
That's,
then it's St. George. The next line is St. George.
No, St. George again.
I was waiting for you to come in. Here is one who dares to look thee in the face. I'll soon send thee to another place. Hua! Giant.
Away. And in comes me again.
Father Christmas.
Is there a doctor? They'll know from the friendly voice.
Is there a doctor to be found already near at hand to cure a deep and deadly wound and make a champion stand?
Teleporter noise as Packard comes in. Yes, there is a doctor to be found, already near at hand, to cure a deep and deadly wound and make a champion stand.
What can you cure?
This seems a bit similar to the last time the doctor appeared. All sorts of
everyone
diseases,
loves it.
Whatever you pleases, the physic, the palsy, and the gout. If the devil's in, I'll blow him out.
And what is your fee?
Yeah, it's just on the next page.
Yep.
£15, same price. The same price as earlier. I just told you how much it was. £15 is my fee, the money to lay down. But as for such a rogue as thee, I'll cure thee for £10. Same joke. This is very Stuart Lee-like, the way he just does the exact same routine in full, with no abbreviations.
Yep, and produces the medicine.
Doctor produces medicine again. Even in the script, it says again. Like the person transcribing it is going like, again, yes, again, again. I carry a little bottle of Alexopain. Here, Jack, take a little of this flip-flop and pour it down thy tip-top. Rise up and do not fight again. Do not fight again.
And then I come up to the front to speak to you, the audience again, friendly.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, your spot is most ended, so prepare for the box which is highly commanded. The box which would speak if it had but a tongue. Come throw in your money and think it no longer.
That was almost too friendly for me to understand it. It just sent a chill right through me.
It's basic. It's the bucket speech at the end. Basically, he comes in and says, "I've got a box. Please put some money in it."
Yes, of course. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. Classic.
Yes, yes. So yes, that was the Mummers play.
Wow, and an awful lot of stuff went down in the chat while we were doing that. There's a Captain Packard who appears to be a printer. I like that.
Someone says they can't believe this entertainment is free. They obviously weren't listening to the bucket speech.
Yeah, you got the. It's not all soup we were looking for. Money. Put money in our bowl. Stop squirting soup at us.
Mop up my soup with your notes.
That explains why we've been getting so much soup in the Patreon recently, James. People are confused about what we wanted.
That's the soup tier. We got 40. Yeah, I was going to do a 47 varieties of tier joke, but
that's quite
couldn't
good.
really work it out.
Yeah.
So also in the tradition of Christmas, I thought
wait, before I interrupt you, someone is asking for a Christmas David Lynch impression.
Oh, would you want to do King of Egypt then as Lynch?
So I do the King of Egypt as David Lynch. Well, if
and point out that it is actually definitely was the inbreed in one family.
No, because he means son as in son-in-law. All right. Well, look, I hope this David Lynch impression, which is mainly shouting, is worth the build-up I've given it. Here I am, the King of Egypt, so boldly do appear. St. George, walk in. My only son and heir, walk in, my son St. George, and boldly act thy part, so that all people here may see thy wondrous heart. That was what it would sound like if David Lynch was shouting.
Was shouting in a Mummers play. He's shouting at a Beatle. It's all of the Beatles.
Amazing quality cast we got for that. It's all star. It's all star. What a proper Christmas all star cast there.
What
all the Beatles, living and dead.
All of them.
All of them.
Neil, you got Neil Iron.
The Neil Iron.
He hasn't been seen for 4 years since that business went under.
He's on the run. Known to consult with one Scottish man. That's all the cops know. If we find Jamie Shakes, we find Ion. There's a board at Scotland Yard, and it just has just 2 people on it. That's it. That's
one piece of red cotton, just wound around and around.
And
but little do they know.
A little bit of tinsel just on that bit of cotton there.
That's the thing. Little do they know if they did find. That's like the clue was there all along. If they do find Jimmy Shakeshaft, they find Neil Iron.
We Jamie Shakes.
We Jimmy Shakeshaft.
Oh,
you had to have the
Neil
the
Iron.
real
That's
name,
a name
though.
I haven't heard for a long time.
Neil Iron. I ain't heard that name for a long time. He's more machine than man now.
Obi-Wan Ion. Maybe she means old Neil Ion.
Neil.
Well, we enjoyed that. We enjoyed that.
I loved that a lot. I loved it a lot.
The thing is, the film
Richard
wouldn't have been worse
Ayoade
if he'd been called Neil Kenobi. That's not a worse name than Ben Kenobi. It's just as good.
Ben, it's a standard name.